biggest game changer in the Australian market is the National Disability Insurance Scheme. That potentially over time will release some $30 billion into a sector that is delivering human services to people in need. But $30 billion is a lot of money, and that's going to attract a lot of commercial players into the sector who want a piece of that action. So how are NGOs to compete? The sector now is really looking for leaders who can transform the business sector and the business model they're operating under. People who can grow revenue, people who can contain costs, but at the same time, people who've got a clear idea of how to carry out mergers and acquisitions so that the sector can gain the scale it requires to deliver on the promise. So the type of people we're seeing that are needed in the sector at the moment are people with really strong change management skills. People who can find diversified streams of income. People who can build the marketing models that are necessary to compete, not just in a contestable area, but compete against commercial firms who have depth in this space. And build robust and strong models that will make NGOs the delivery vehicle of choice, not just for governments, but just as importantly for the consumer. And naturally that means we need to look at board compositions as well. Boards are going to be so critical in bringing on board the strategic skills we've been talking about. Strategic skills in marketing, in mergers and acquisitions, and fundraising. The state of play in the Australian NGO sector at the moment is fascinating. It's a sector that employs over 1 million people and almost double that number in volunteers. Yet it's going through some seismic changes at the present time, and those changes are all to do with a move to a much more customer-centric model. Instead of the old block funding models we've all grown up with, we've now got the money in the hands of the consumer. And that consumer centricity is driving the sort of business outcomes where everyone now has to look at and change their model to react to the new realities.